Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have Ann Tisdell, one of our resident artists. She's the painter, and she does all kinds of venues on her painting. She's going to talk more with you about it. She has been exhibiting at the, now through February, at the Gale Library in Holden. Also, let's see, you've been there until next month. She's been at the 122 Diner in Holden, and coming up, she's been going to Book Lovers Gourmet up in Webster, and she's coming up again in March. So you get to go up there and see all these great things. Welcome back, Ann.
Don't forget Dudley.
Oh, yes. She's going to be at the library in Dudley?
The Pearl Crawford Library in Dudley.
The Crawford Library. I've been up there.
And just to clarify, all the exhibit at the 122 Diner and the one at Gale Library are the Holden Senior Center art class.
Excellent.
So.
Now, she brought us some more of her paintings. Start with which one you'd like.
Oh, I like all of them.
Yeah.
This is a Sable Chasm in upstate New York in the Adirondacks.
Yeah. Is that oil or acrylic?
Acrylic.
Beautiful. The detail, without being too much detail, which I noticed with her, it gets the point across, and it's beautiful. Did you go up there during the fall?
Yes, I did.
Hence the beautiful red and yellow. You just sit there all alone and sketch it first, or paint it?
I take pictures.
Oops, out that camera. Ha.
The trusty camera.
That is beautiful. Where is Oswego Chasm? Where is the chasm?
It's near Plattsburgh, New York.
That's why my father used to do business up there. He would travel. And this one. You're a cat lover? Oh.
Yes. This is a pastel.
Yeah.
And this is my cat Onyx greeting my cat Princess after she's crossed over the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh.
So,
were they
and they were buddies. No, he was older than she.
Yeah.
But they were buddies, and this is what I envisioned when she crossed over, that he was going to be there to lap her face and welcome her.
What a great idea. I love the little paws that you've made. Did you do that with paint, or how'd you do that?
I did that with a stamp. With
a little stamp, yeah. It's perfect.
Acrylic.
And then the heart looks almost like crayon, or
that's pastel.
It's pastel.
Yep. And the heart represents not only the rainbow, but it represents me too.
And what are the cats done in?
Pastels.
They're also pastel.
They're all pastels.
The perfection on the cat's face as she's turned. We have 2 cats, and this is just it's adorable. Oh, we're going to have to get the winner.
This is what I have on my business card.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I hook her up with Kate, our comfort cat lady. Well, you two would get along great. She has her own house full of cats, and she trains them to be comfort cats for people. Now, when I saw this when she came in, I said, that's my kind. This is fun. Is this for kids or everybody?
It's for everybody because it's balloons at the International Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Are you going to be going?
Well, I haven't been since 2019. I would love to go.
Yeah.
It's always in the first couple of weeks of October.
Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Well, so you did this sort of by memory or by thinking about it?
No, I have photographs. I photographed the whole event, all the events.
Is that a frog in the center? What is that?
I think it's just some sort of whimsical creature, but they have all these different whimsical creatures that they have as balloons, hot air balloons.
You know, they've got the pumpkin, the sun, they've got this, whatever he is, it looks like a froggy. And then there's a guy, baseball cap with the 2 teeth hanging down.
Yep, that was a friend of mine's balloon.
designed it herself or himself?
Well, yeah.
Are these the real kind of balloons that people ride in, or
Yes.
they are?
Yes.
Oh God, that would be so much fun. What is the one down here in the lower? What does that mean? Is there a symbol?
That's the symbol for New Mexico, land of enchantment.
Fits perfectly, the land of enchantment. And then over on that balloon, it's the same colors. Wonder what?
That's my friend Jim's balloon. The balloon's name is Squirrel.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, well, at Fiesta when I first went,
Yeah.
there was 800 to 1,000 balloonists there.
All going up in the air at the same time? No.
No, that's a very carefully orchestrated
Yeah.
thing where they have these people that are dressed in sort of like zebra outfits.
Yeah.
You can spot them, and they orchestrate when people go up.
So how many can go up at this, about the same time, or a certain number?
They stage them because
Okay.
you don't want, not everybody's ascent is going to be exactly the same. So you don't want collisions.
That's a long day, 800 balloons. That's a long day. I bet the kids love that. And this kid would love it. Oh, I love that.
But it's really quite something to see. Okay, now this is a watercolor.
Oh, is that a finch? No.
No, this is a red-bellied woodpecker.
Can you see it? Can you get it? Is it up high enough?
Do you want me to bring it up higher?
Beautiful. A red-bellied woodpecker.
Yes.
This is, again, she gets it perfectly without too much in your face. You get the idea across without us having to look at every vein and every leaf, that type of thing. Where did you find that one? See that?
I saw this bird in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
so I photographed him.
So when you go for walks, you bring your handy-dandy camera?
I sure
I
do.
bet you do. That is beautiful. Was that in the fall, or when was that?
It was wintertime.
It was the wintertime.
We hadn't yet had snowfall.
You got the tree down, Pat. I see these trees with like little circles in them. What are those? Are those wormholes in trees? What are they?
They're called knots.
Knots. Is that an unusual woodpecker to have out here?
No.
No. We
No,
had
they-
one right on the side of the house. We had to relocate him.
They are fun to watch. And then this is one that I just recently finished. This is a little buddy of mine.
Ah! Who's that?
That's Max. He's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
And he's yours.
No, he's not.
He's not yours?
My neighbor's.
What's it say? Is that his name?
Max. M-A-K-S.
M-A-K-S, Max. So that's interesting. And he didn't pose for that. You got a picture of him, right?
I did.
You did great. What does she think of that?
Who think?
Does your neighbor like it?
She was stunned because she didn't know I was working on this. So this is going to be in the exhibit. So all of these are going to be in the exhibit at the Dudley Library.
Oh my God. They're all, when you look at an exhibit, very often artists will have basically the same style as they go. All the pieces that they have, you have different, every single one.
Well, not all of them will be different. I like to do a lot of birds. In the spring at Book Lovers, I will probably have some flowers.
Yeah.
Because, it's going to be kind of like a transition thing of the transition from winter to spring. So, I may have some winter things in there, but definitely have some flowers.
You're so busy. She's busy. You got something going on pretty much right along the months.
This has been really unusually crazy
Yeah.
to have this many different things going on.
Yeah.
My instructor at Holden Senior Center is the one that got the exhibit going at the Gale Free Library in Holden.
Yeah.
And then Diana, who was one of the other people with our group Palette Pals, had the exhibit arranged at the 122 Diner. And then I'm the one that's the organizer of Palette Pals being at the Pearl Crawford Library in Dudley. And I will be exhibiting there myself. It'll be all my own work in May.
We're talking with Ann Tisdell, she's one of our resident, very talented artists, painter. How can they get a hold of you, Ann?
My email is Tisdell, A as in apple, Tisdell, TISDELL @gmail.com.
Now, can people, if they'd like to have you come and exhibit, they're free to email you?
Correct.
That type of thing. When are you going to be free? You're pretty booked up. I've never seen an artist so booked up. When are you going to have free time? Are you going to make more paintings?
I'm definitely working on more paintings. I've got all kinds of watercolors that I haven't even framed yet.
So maybe beginning of summer? You might
Probably.
Now, I think you said last time, you'll get to know her again because you may not have watched the other couple times, but you have your own studio at home, right? Kind of.
Well, a single room.
That's okay. It's better than the kitchen table. That's what I like to use. But so you have it in your home. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've pretty much been sketching since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
But really didn't have time. I was in healthcare and was originally started off as a staff nurse, and I went back to graduate school and I got my master's and became a board certified women's health nurse practitioner. So in healthcare, the reality is you're pretty much burned out by the time you leave work.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any creative energy left to do any kind of painting or sketching or drawing. So I haven't really been, I haven't been doing this, I've been doing it intermittently throughout my life, but not to the degree that I'm doing it now because I'm retired.
So how did that interest get sparked when you left nursing?
Well, one of my friends who was taking art at the Holden Senior Center, she was showing me some of the things that she was doing, and I said to her, "Ooh, I don't live in Holden, but do you think maybe I could go there and go to your class?" Well, I didn't know that the senior centers sort of have this exchange thing where you can go any place.
Yep.
And so they said, "Sure, have her come on up." So I've been going there ever since.
Is it a big type of class or small?
It varies. Sometimes we'll have as few as 5 people. Sometimes we'll have as many as 15.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Is the teacher the same one you've had the whole time?
No, Elaine Griffiths is the one that I started off with. But Elaine had her mother to take care of, and her son was also sick at the time, and she stopped doing the senior center. So she recommended Jan Laguerre take over the class, so that's who the artist is now.
So how many years have you been enjoying it?
Well, I retired in 2016, and I've been doing painting earnestly since 2017.
So you are one of those people like myself that my mother said as soon as I could get a pencil in my hand. Now, what was it, 4 or 5 years old? First of all, they were people. And then,
like stick people.
yeah, and then it began to progress with silhouettes of girl faces, look princesses in dresses and head on. And that's how it took off that way. But then for years I ignored it. We did not have, I don't think, for some reason or other, in high school, I didn't get into the art class thing. I really missed the ball on that one. But and then the art teacher I had in college was just, I don't know why she was still there. I left that one. But I do purely abstract. My favorite of the ones you've just brought is that one with the balloons. I can see that in a pediatric office. That would appeal very much. You've got the style. There are doctors around, pediatric they would absolutely love it. Have you thought of that?
Well, the storyline that I got from doctors' offices was that they wanted more modern art.
That's interesting because my son's pediatrician used to be, they'd go in the little examining rooms, and on the walls there would be happy things, like, all kinds of fun.
Probably Disney.
No, it wasn't Disney. It was just on the, not exactly like yours, but on that line of just, you look at it and it's happy. It's not fantasy. It was just a happy feeling. I can't explain it, but God, he had them everywhere. I loved them. So that's one thing.
But see, it depends on what their particular interests are too, as far as, there are some people that have absolutely no interest in art or don't have any kind of acumen for it, so they don't even give it a thought as far as how it's going to make the environment more comfortable and inviting to their clientele.
That is so true. You could go in somewhere, a lawyer's office or something, and you think it would fit right in, but they may think no. They might not think so.
Right.
Have you got a goal where you'd really like to be, besides all the great places you go, do you have something in your mind you'd like to exhibit at?
Oh, I'd like to exhibit at Worcester Art Museum again. I've had 2 paintings there.
Yeah, that would be good. That place is a hike. You go in there and you're really walking for quite a long while.
That's okay. I do 5 to 7 miles a day, so that wouldn't bother me.
You do 5 to 7 miles a day?
Yeah.
Boy, you show me up. Boy, after about 10 minutes, because I'm not practiced, it's like, okay. But I like it to be none of this.
I go on varied terrain.
You go on the varied.
And I have some friends. Deb Horan is one of them, where we go hiking on some of the local trails.
Do you ever go over to Westboro with that beautiful reservoir and take pictures at all? You know Westboro, right?
Yeah, I know what Westboro is,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure what reservoir you're talking
They have
about.
a reservoir there. It's huge and it's beautiful. They even have picnic tables for people to sit and enjoy it. I don't know how to tell you, but it's between Westboro and Upton, right here. It's about 10-15 minutes up the road. Absolutely gorgeous. And getting pictures of that, I think you'd love it.
I've been out to the Quabbin.
Yeah?
I've been to, there's a dam that's not too far from where we are, and I know there's a dam in Thompson, so I've been to some of those places.
What's that one up in, it's on the way, oh, damn, God, I cannot think of it. You follow 74 or 75. Anyway, it's going up that way. There's this big one with looks almost like a little chapel off into the, it's so...
Oh, you're thinking of Boylston.
Yes, and it has an American
The
flag.
the reservoir that's right around Clinton.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many people have taken pictures of that.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people do.
Does it always have the flag? Does it always have that hanging down the front of it?
I don't go out there often enough to say yes or no to that.
How about the White Mountains area up in New Hampshire? That's a favorite.
Oh, yeah, I've shot a lot of pictures up there.
Yeah, so you're good at hiking anyway.
I'm an old skier, too.
Ooh.
I haven't skied in years, but I used to take pictures up in Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire very regularly.
Did you ever go to Sunapee?
Oh, sure.
What's that one up in North Conway, which isn't far from my college that I went to? What's it? Little Conway, North Conway. So I think it's just the ski. It's wonderful. The ski lift. You go up and you're seeing all the mountains. It's absolutely beautiful.
I'm trying to remember which one it was that Cranmore.
Cranmore. And you can ride the little tram.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there. I used to.
I don't know if it's still there either. One of my neighbors, where I grew up in Swampscott, was involved with Cranmore.
Yeah.
As far as the management of it and everything.
I remember, you would ride that little Cranmore thing up there, the little
right.
Mobile. But I always thought in the back of my mind, the ski mobile. What if it gives way? That's it. Whereas if you're up in the kind the chairlifts, what's the worst? Well, you're going to just stop, right? You love animals.
Yes.
I'm looking at that beautiful dog that she did. Have you ever been over to Southwick Zoo over in Mendon?
It's been a while since I've been over there, but Yeah, I've done a lot of animals. Endangered animals particularly interest me. I just did a watercolor of a black-footed ferret,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm now working on a pangolin.
A what?
Pangolin.
What's that?
A pangolin, there have been people that have said to me, oh, it kind of looks like an armadillo. No, it's not like an armadillo. It's a bigger animal. But it has these multiple plates on the body. They're made of keratin, just like our nails are.
Mm-hmm.
And these animals are native to Southeast Asia and Africa. And they primarily eat ants and termites, they're insects. And they're very solitary, gentle creatures. And in Asia, they hunt them not only for their meat, but they want their scales because for folk medicine. And I don't really know what the purpose is, but they kill the animal primarily for the scales.
I never heard of it.
And they're very, very sweet.
Oh.
And when they're attacked, they roll up in a ball.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't an armadillo do that?
Yes. But the plates on an armadillo are much different than this. I mean, these have like almost diamond-shaped scaly things on their bodies.
Never even heard of them. Have you done a picture of them? You doing one?
I'm painting one now. Yeah.
That would be very interesting. Very, very.
But this is the thing. They're endangered at this point.
Yeah.
And I think in Southeast Asia they may even be critically endangered.
Wow. So they're from Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia and Africa.
So, what have you been to any zoos here in New England or in New York, the Bronx Zoo or anything? Because you love animals, you'd be great at catching them at just the right moment, and then you paint.
I've been to the National Zoo a
Yeah.
couple of times in Washington,
Is that
D.C.
Washington? Yeah.
And there's some zoos in Connecticut that I've been to more recently.
Rhode Island?
I haven't been to that one.
I haven't either, but I used to live in Rhode Island. Yep.
And the Stone Zoo, I've been to that area a number of times because I lived on the North Shore.
That is in what town?
Stoneham.
What about buildings? I bet you, well, you're probably good at painting anything. What about buildings? Do any of them interest you, like the center of Boston? What's that place that we shop? Oh,
You mean Quincy Market?
Quincy Market.
I'm not a real big fan of doing buildings.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay.
I've done a few buildings, but it's not my thing.
You've got that definite, again, I have to come back to, I love all of her paintings, but I love especially, didn't you last time bring a very childlike one that you had done? Absolutely adorable. What was that? I know it caught my eye. It's like that one with the balloons. She brings that in for sure. I see it first thing today. I'm like, ooh, I love that. You sell them, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You don't have to say exactly, approximately what do they go for?
Depends on what it is and the size.
Yeah.
So I've done breaching whales, and those have sold for about $500.
What were they, whales?
Yeah.
You've been-
Humpbats.
You've been on a whale watch?
Oh yeah.
You didn't get sick?
No.
Oh! I bet there were a few people hanging over the edge. I couldn't do it.
I didn't notice anybody, but it was really something.
Yeah. I bet you love animals. I imagine that if you went up to right over here in Hopkinton, we have the shelter up there. They do a darn good job up there. I think it's Bay Path.
Oh, Bay Path?
Yeah. They do a really good job. We got one of our kitties there who is now probably almost 25 pounds.
Wow.
Remember Morris in the commercials? Yeah, well.
Yes, I do.
He wants food, it seems like 24/7. You're sitting at your dining table, he comes up, sits there and stares at me and waits.
I find that animals that have had food insecurity
Yeah.
always want to eat more than they need.
Yeah. Well, this guy definitely is. Well, we're bad. I mean, Yeah, let's say we're having Camberg or a little something else, and he loves, what is it he doesn't love? He loves bran muffins, he loves meat, pepperoni, pizza. The trick is we just take a little teeny bit, try to get him to eat it out of my hand. Now he's taken to just sitting there. No, you must bring it. You must bring it closer to me. Oh, if you're in the bathroom, honest to God, Annie, he will come into the bathroom. He'll hop into my husband's lap. Yeah, just picture that one. And he'll go around he'll go around the toilet, and I'm like, so take his tail on. I'm like, get out of there. Then he'll go up to the shower curtain and start licking it. We don't understand him at all, but he's like, if one of us is very sick, he knows. He just knows about it. Good God, if we're talking loudly or somebody falls, he's just like the EMTs. You have cats at home now?
No, I don't.
Not since those two passed away, right?
Not since those two passed.
You think you will?
I'm considering it.
Well, these are going to be flyers, and they'll be up downstairs at the Upton Library about her upcoming exhibits, and Tisdell. And one more time, how can they get a hold of you?
They can contact me at my email, atisdell@gmail.com.
How far are you willing to go to exhibit?
To exhibit. I would say 25 miles.
Okay, roughly half an hour or more. That's pretty good. There's so many places around. And libraries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that, I don't know if you've seen it, but we have a huge new community center being built over here. It's, it's great. The library will be there.
Oh.
And that might be a place for you to try. That should be about May 1st.
Wow.
They might enjoy having your artwork up there. I'm thinking about it. You might want to show it to them on the way out. Because they're going to be thinking about what will we be putting up and the type of thing. And
Right.
we have a children's section. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can see that. Oh, so many places. I love that happy stuff that she does. Thank you for being with us. Keep that happy stuff going.
Well, I'm fascinated by animals and plants, and I would say that I want to put a plug in that we are mindful of all inhabitants of the planet. You know, humans are supposed to be the intelligent species. We need to be intelligent enough to preserve our forests and our wetlands so that we can have all these ecosystems that help support us and the planet.
You know, there's down right in our area here, the Blackstone Valley Corridor. They are very into the woods and the health, that type of thing of our forest. Thank you, and you'll probably see her next time. Another time on Be My Guest. See you later.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.